Ethiopia's vision for 2030, ambition, power, and the race to redefine a nation. In a world where small dreams fade, Ethiopia is thinking big, very big. A new airport larger than any in Africa, a nuclear energy program, an oil refinery, and maybe a way back to the Red Sea. The plan, Ethiopia's Vision 2030, but can a nation wrestling with internal challenges really turn ambition into reality? Ethiopia's Vision 2030 is the country's roadmap to transform itself into a middle-income nation, industrialized, energy secure, and globally connected. It's bold, it's massive, and it's symbolic of a nation trying to reclaim its place in history. But behind the impressive blueprints lie big questions. How will it all be funded? What are the risks? And why is access to the Red Sea part of this national vision? I'm Sarun Zamanil, and this is Analytica Today. Let's break down what Ethiopia's Vision 2030 really means for its people, its neighbors, and for Africa's future. Visuals of construction, infrastructure, renderings, and maps. The story starts with ambition and infrastructure. Ethiopia is currently building the largest airport in Africa, the new Bishoftu International Airport, expected to handle over 100 million passengers annually when complete. Phase 1 alone will make it one of the continent's biggest aviation hubs, a direct challenge to Dubai and Nairobi. But that's only just the beginning. The government has also unveiled plans for Africa's largest fertilizer plant, aiming to end the country's reliance on imports and boost agricultural productivity. Alongside a domestic oil refinery, a nuclear energy plant, and major irrigation projects, all part of a plan to feed fuel and power over 130 million citizens. And then there is Koishe Dam, Ethiopia's third largest hydroelectric project after GERD and GAIB 3, now nearing completion. Once operational, it could generate over 2,000 megawatts of electricity, lighting up homes and powering industries across the region. It's all part of what Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed calls a sovereign development path, a path where Ethiopia controls its own energy, its own resources, and maybe its own port. However, here's where things get complicated. Ethiopia's 2030 vision doesn't just focus on development, it also speaks of sovereign access to the sea. Ethiopia has been landlocked since 1993 when Eritrea gained its independence. For 3 decades, it relied on Djibouti for 95% of its imports and exports, a dependency that costs billions every year. So when the Prime Minister said a country of 130 million people cannot remain without sea access, it wasn't just a metaphor. It was a statement of strategy and survival. Some see this as a call for regional integration, joint post-management, shared prosperity. Others, especially in Eritrea, hear something more alarming, a hint of expansionism. And that's why this vision has become not just an economic plan, but a geopolitical test, one that could reshape the entirety of Horn of Africa. Building dreams this big isn't easy, especially when the ground beneath is unstable. Ethiopia faces economic headwinds, high inflation, foreign debt, and a shortage of foreign currency. Politically, ethnic tensions remain high, and security challenges continue in parts of Amhara and Oromia. Then there is this question of funding. Many of these mega projects rely on foreign investment, from Gulf nations, China, and new public-private partnerships. But investors want stability, and that's something Ethiopia still struggles to guarantee. Still, there's resilience. Ethiopia's young population is among Africa's most ambitious, tech-savvy, entrepreneurial, and determined youth. Agricultural output is rising, exports are diversifying, and industrial parks are expanding across the country. So Vision 2030 isn't just about infrastructure, it's about psychology. It's about a country that wants to believe again. But here's the thing, ambition alone doesn't build nations. It takes trust, stability, and diplomacy. And the last part, diplomacy, might be Ethiopia's biggest test yet. Because whether it's sea access, nuclear power, or mega project, everything hinges on peace, at home and abroad. Ethiopia's Vision 2030 is more than an economic plan. It's a statement of intent to build, to belong, and to be heard again on the global stage. The question is, can Ethiopia rise without fracturing? Can it reach the sea without reigniting old conflicts? If it succeeds, it won't just change Ethiopia. It could redefine what's possible for African nations charting their own future without wanting permission. It could redefine what's possible for African nations charting their own future without waiting for permission. I'm Sarun, and this was